सर्वद्वाराणि संयम्य मनोहृदि निरुध्य च मूर्ध्याधायात्मनः प्राणम् आस्थितो योगधारणाम् ओमित्येकाक्षरं ब्रह्म व्याहरन् मामनुस्मरन् यः प्रयाति त्यजन् देहम् स याति परमां गतिम्. So, sarvadvarani sanyamya. Having closed all the gates, or having controlled all the gates, having confined the mind in the heart, mano hridi niruddhya cha, having fixed the life breath in the head, murdhnya adhayat atmanah pranam, asthito yoga dharana, engaged in the practice of concentration, yoga dharana. Then uttering the one syllable Om, which represents Brahman. Mamanusmaran, and remembering me. Yah prayati tyajat deham. He who departs leaving the body. Yati paramam gatim. Sayati paramam gatim. He attains the supreme goal. So, somebody will take it as the last possible mantra before death. Are we talking of death? Yes, because man is afraid of death only. So, if anything can, keep me away from death or eliminate this death aspect from my life, I will be very happy. But the Shastras have some different view about death. They say that death is just another experience. It's just a change. Because the soul is going to observe death the way it is observing other happenings. So death is not termination of Atman. It is just a change of circumstance or change of place, change of happening. It is modification. So, initially we do start sadhana to attain immortality, so that I am free from the fear of death. But ultimately, it is not so. This path is to be pursued not for immortality, but for liberation. From what? Birth. Liberation from birth is important. Once got into birth, death is definite for the body anyway. So why be afraid of death? Think of that, what is that? Liberation. So that you don't get back into birth. The question of death doesn't arise. The moment you are in birth, death is right in front of you. So therefore, again in the previous one as well as over here, the moment it says, Yah prayati tyajan deham, so my thought goes, this is talking about the last moment before death. No. Let us think about it. Sarvadvarani sanyamya. So, the whole of my life I did do nothing about controlling my senses, but now suddenly I want to do so. It is not possible. It has to be a constant practice of the seeker to keep the senses under control. Why my senses keep running here and there when not required? And especially on the seat of meditation when it is not at all required, again it runs even faster. Hmm? So this practice is important. Then come to the mind. How mind is so selfish, self-centered, full of desires, complicated, with so many obstacles, with confusion of thoughts. What is this mind? This mind is not going to take me anywhere. It's disintegrating me completely. It shatters me at its will. So I have to Mano Ridi Nirudhyacha. I have to merge it in my heart. This heart, in the corner of my mind, I do have some good qualities also, some virtues. I have love for some. I have affection for some people. I am concerned about some people. Let me decondition myself, and from some, it has to be all. My kindness and compassion, my friendly hand, my love, my affection has to be for all equally. I can't be so conditioned that I'm a human being, so I don't care about the animals or the plant and this and that. I don't care about others, members of the family. I just am concerned about my daughter, my son, my mother, my. What is all this? This is absolute narrow mindedness. If you read the Puranas, you will open up, your mind will get deconditioned. Puranas are to tame the mind. The instances, the episodes, the anecdotes given of the great souls, they inspire us to drop this selfishness of our mind. They push us into the ocean of our heart. They open up the channels towards the heart. Therefore, there is a custom of reading the Puranas every now and then, so that we decondition our mind, which is so narrow, so conditioned, so selfish, so self-centered. Mano Ridhi Nirudhyacha. Murnyad Adhayam Atmanaha. Having fixed the life breath, pranam, in the head. Again, all the functions of prana. At the time of contemplation, I don't have to need to think about blood circulation and digestion and speaking. Nothing is required. No activity is as such required. The voluntary work will go on. It's different. To sustain the body, it will continue. I don't have to bother about it. Let me withdraw the pranas from the mind, the senses and body and all, and try to focus it on the Supreme. That's all. It is not talking about the breath. It is the prana, the vitality. Let me withdraw my vitality from these equipments, which vitalize them and then throw them into the worldliness. That is how I can hold myself in yoga with the divine, yoga dharana. And then chant Om. The single syllable representative of the unmanifest Brahman. About Om, much is told in details in the Upanishads and especially in Mandukya Upanishad. The whole Omkar, the concept of Om is being explained as the three avasthas, Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti, and then the Bindu and Kala. And that unmanifest which is beyond Nada, Bindu, Kala. All the three. How one transcends the individuality, merges with the totality, transcends the totality to come to unmanifest. Jivatva to Ishwaratva to Brahmatva. For that we need to meditate on Om. At that time, Bhagavan says, Mam Anusmara. Remembering me, Bhagavan says. Why this is important? Because if I do not devotedly remember the Supreme, then definitely the mind is going to again trickle out of the heart. This mind is extroverted. So it will not be easy to an unfocused human being to contain the mind within the heart. To find that focus, I need to have devotion to the Supreme. Yah prayati tyajat deham sayati paramam gati. The seeker on the seat of meditation loses identification with the physical, the emotional and the intellectual self. All these experiences are dropped. That is leaving the body, the gross, subtle and causal bodies, transcending them. One attains the Supreme Being, Paramam Gatim. One attains the ultimate goal. Can it happen in one life? Oh yes, it has to happen at some point of time in some life. Or maybe not in this life on Bhuloka. It can be Jivan Mukti in Bhuloka or Krama Mukti later on in some other loka, in the higher mental planes. Even that is being explained by the Lord.